transformations and resurrections. It's odd for me to talk about myself, but this was a remarkable thing, and I am still amazed that I'm here. And it's because of all of you and the prayers and the miracles. I guess I had been feeling tired, and I didn't realize it. One of my daughters told me that the last couple of times she had talked to me, I told her I was tired. And that's unusual for me. Kind of like an Energizer bunny, I'm always doing something. And even conversations I had had 2 or 3 days prior, I don't remember. I had one that morning with a neighbor. I had one with Kate 2 days before. I don't remember. So obviously there were signs that I didn't know and didn't recognize, but obviously there was something wrong. And I'm going to talk to you about the miracles. Miracle number 1, my youngest daughter is a paramedic and her husband's a firefighter, and they worked on Thanksgiving. So we couldn't have Thanksgiving together on Thanksgiving. We were going to do our Thanksgiving on Saturday. Friday, I was going to the store, and I was going to stop by the grocery store and buy fresh vegetables. And just before I was getting the vegetables, I thought, you know, I want to make some things for my girls for Christmas, and I need some glasses, everyday glasses. And I had checked several stores and hadn't seen anything I liked, and I thought, well, I'll run to Bell's before I put food in the car. Now, for those of you that know me, I hate to shop for anything. And it must have been the illness that I didn't even realize it was Black Friday.
Yeah. Right.
But I walked into Bell's and was told that I just hit the floor, went straight over like a stone, face first. I don't know if I hit counters or not, but I still have sore spots from injuries. But anyway, I went down on the floor. And miracle number 3, and I'll tell you what number 2 is later. Miracle number 3, there was a lady and her daughter in the checkout line. And the daughter kind of saw what had happened. And her mother, who was a nurse, she said, "Mom, you've got to do something." So Anne came over and started instantly giving me CPR. The store did not have a defibrillator. And the manager of the store called 911. Miracle number 4 is Rescue 19, which is over on Rohera behind the Arlington shopping mall near the Arlington Expressway. Happened to have received a call which was canceled. So by the time they got the call about me, they were 2 blocks away. They were in the store. Less than 2 minutes after they received the call, I have found out that it takes 2 or 3 minutes for them to get the call. So Anne was working on me for a good 5 minutes. She also, I think I will go back and tell you miracle number 2. I had a chance to meet Anne on March the 2nd. Jacksonville Fire and Rescue has an annual award program. And to get things in for time for the deadline, my daughter Bonnie had turned in the names of Anne and her daughter and the store manager, and also the guys on Rescue 19. The guys didn't get an award because they were considered, that's their job. They did what they were supposed to do. But Anne did receive the Citizens Award, and it was a beautiful ceremony. And she and I got a chance to talk and to actually meet. She knew who I was, but I had no idea who she was. But she told me that she had been laid off a week prior. Had she not been laid off, she would not have been shopping that day. She would have been at work. So to me, that was miracle number 2. I did not get a chance to meet the store manager or the lady, Amy, I believe her name is. I will. I'm going to make a point to go if I'm but Ann told me she held my hands and prayed for me the whole time. And she said that the ladies standing around, you could see them, and their mouths were moving. And she said immediately, everybody was just praying. And so Rescue 19 got there, and they have a new device. I don't know the name of it, but they call it the geezer squeezer. And they put it around you, and it just kind of crushes you, but it forces your blood everywhere. And when they immediately arrived at the store, the guys riding Rescue 19 didn't realize it, but my daughter Bonnie had worked there when she was an engineer prior to becoming a lieutenant. And she rode with these guys. They were on a shift she had worked on. And they found out that I was Bonnie's mother. And they were bound and determined to keep trying and doing whatever was humanly possible. So they worked on me, got me intubated before we got to the hospital. And it was well over 20 minutes. Could have been over 30 minutes, I'm not really sure. But I was dead. I had no pulse. But they continued to work on me and pumping the blood and everything else. Of course, Bonnie had contacted her sisters. My son happened to be with me at the store, but he called the girls, and they all immediately rushed to the hospital. Bonnie, being a paramedic, knowing what was going on in the situation, truly went to the hospital to claim a body. When she got there, she didn't go in like everybody else. She coded in through the back door, and she went right to where I was. And Jimmy stopped her and told her that he had gotten me intubated and that I had a pulse. And she went into the room and checked my eyes, and she said they were solid black. They were totally dilated. And she thought, oh my God, he saved Mom, and in 2 or 3 days we're going to have to take her off life support because she'll be brain dead. That didn't happen. They did find out that I had had cardiac arrest, and they went in and I had surgery. The first time they tried to take me off life support, I died again. That didn't work, so they had to put me back on everything. So I basically was in a coma for a good 3 weeks. I was finally stable enough that they could do surgery, and they put in a pacemaker and a defibrillator. And the doctor came out of the surgery, and he said, I think I'm going to go out and buy a pack of cigarettes. And my children went, well, what are you talking about? He said, her arteries are so clean you can drive a truck through them. Her heart is in great shape. He said it was an electrical malfunction. It's something that I've lived with for years, if not my whole life. Didn't know. They promised me I'll be better than ever. I can't wait. I get tired pretty easily now, so I'm looking forward to that. But it's the prayers. I know that Katie was going to Cuba with our mission. She was supposed to leave on Saturday. She was in Miami with my niece Megan, and she got the call. And I think Terry called her, and she said that she'd let him know. And he said he knew right away she was coming home. She wasn't going to Cuba, but she had all the supplies for the children's crafts, so she had to meet up with the group the following morning and get everything to them, and then she and Megan came straight back to Jacksonville. But when I had gone to Curcio just last year, I had been invited. I had been invited a few years before, but I never could work it out in my schedule. So when I went last year, there was a lady from Cuba that was part of my Curcio group. And of course we get all of our information about prayers that are needed, the different meetings where we have our get-togethers. And in Cuba, she started praying for me, put me on a prayer list. So by the time Mother Nancy and our group arrived, they wanted to know, how's Janis? They were I think you were in shock. Everyone was, how do they know about Janis? And then I have a very dear friend that I had other park rangers were brothers, and they were from a large family from New Zealand, and their father is a priest. So she right away asked for prayers. So all over the world, in New Zealand, with cops, concerns of police survivors, I have hundreds of people all over the United States, but we also have a chapter in England. So they were praying for me all over the world. And I know that's why I'm here. I truly know that's the only reason I'm here. I don't have any wonderful stories about flying above my body and meeting old friends and family. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't see it. I didn't walk into the light, so that's good. But I did see flashes of light, and the colors, I can't even describe them. It was just beautiful colors, and it was tremendous flashes, almost like lightning. So I don't know if that's something I saw, or if that's maybe when they were shocking me. I have no idea. But I did see those bright, bright colors, as if I were in a dream. And I felt lighter than air. I felt like I was being carried. And now I know I was being carried because instant prayers obviously lifted me up. I wasn't afraid. I was not in pain. I was very comfortable. I felt very, very comfortable. The only time I ended up in pain was when I woke up. And that was mostly because that wonderful geezer squeezer pretty much cracked and broke all my ribs, front and back. So moving, I couldn't even lay down. I mean, I was really not in good shape. I hurt. And I have a high pain level, but it wasn't high enough. And also I was off all the good drugs, I guess, they had me on when I first went in. But I know it's just miracle after miracle. And I think signs are always here. I think we get busy and we don't look for them. I'm trying to pay more attention. I'm trying to tell people how much I love them. Because I truly do, but I don't seem to say it enough. And all of you especially. My friends just raved about you. The ladies that took the 2-hour shift staying with me because my girls were afraid to leave me alone. So you took your 2 hours and sat with me, and I understand once I was awake, I actually told people I didn't want to see them. And I don't remember that. I remember I hurt, and but no one held that against me. So thank you for putting up with me and loving me. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do is ask for help. I can't. I will help anybody do anything, but I've always had great difficulty asking someone to help me. And Mother Nancy told me maybe that's part of what I have to learn, is to let others care for me and help me. And you have all far and exceeded that. And I thank you. Just seems so little and tiny, but I truly, truly am grateful, and I thank you, and I love you. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, or Sarah?
You said when you woke up, I mean, like, what is your first memory? Like, do you remember waking up? Obviously you were in pain, but when you think back at that time, did you realize what had happened, or?
I didn't realize what had happened, but I know one of my girls happened to be there. It was Bonnie, and she had to go. And I started crying because I didn't want her to go. And I remember that. I just really, really didn't want her to go. I didn't sleep well, and I finally figured out, took me, even after I got out of the hospital, it took me about a week to figure out. I was afraid to go to sleep. I was afraid I wouldn't wake up. But once I understood that, then I was able to confront that. And with God's help and prayers, I got over that. So, but I did. I had a lot of trouble sleeping. And of do with it, but I couldn't figure out when I was starting to heal while I still had problems, and then it just dawned on me that I was afraid to go to sleep. So, but that's the only thing I remember.
Do you feel like there's something else that you're meant to do?
I'm sure there is. I don't know what it is. I pray for that and guidance. And I tell people I'm ready, willing, and I'm almost able. So I'm getting there, but I'm sure there's something. I don't know if it's maybe continuing my COPS work. We have a new spouse. I'm sure a lot of you heard about the detective in Clay County that was shot and killed. So she's a new member of our organization, and we haven't seen her yet, but she's aware of our group, and I will go and meet with her and talk to her and see what, if anything, I can do. So I don't know if it's that, if there are still things that I need to finish there, or maybe there's something else. But I do pray that I will know what it is, because I certainly want to do whatever.
Or do it even if you don't know?
Yes.
Well, I just want to say I'm so grateful
Oh, thank you.
for you, and I think when I think back, it's hard to, I'm sure it's hard for you, but it's hard for me too, to think back at that time and those 2 and 3 weeks and me coming to the hospital, that I have never in my life ever felt like everyone out here was all lifted up. And I think we were trying to lift you up, but it was wherever I went, I felt it. And I just think that you're a miracle, I really do. God's hands.
It's strictly in God's hands, because there is no reason for me to be here, especially without brain damage or other things.
That's another miracle that you didn't have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think at the awards dinner, I told them that I had no brain damage. I said, my children may disagree, but my grandchildren think I'm fabulous. But, yeah, I still almost want to pinch myself. I still cannot believe it. And it makes me wonder, why me? Why me? You know, so, but it's not my place to question.
But looking what you said you're waiting for, but you don't know what effect it has for the people in this church or your children, that might be the one that it brings the spark to a relationship and a change in their life.
That's true.
Well, it certainly has made me tell everybody I love them all the time.
I know.
I mean, I even on the phone, I love you, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to, I love you, and yeah, and,
Well, I know too, that if it's not your time to go, you're not going.
yeah.
You know, I'm very comfortable with that. If it's not time for me to leave this world, God is going to make sure I don't leave this world. And
In our church, we've come to the realization, especially our pastor, the importance of sharing testimonies. Because even if it hasn't happened to us, it's like reading the Bible of Jesus healing, doing these things, they're testimonies. And you know, we're just human, and we need to know of that love and those testimonies where God has worked, even if He hasn't done something directly to us.
well, I'm living, breathing proof that He is in our life, and He is watching over us, and He's keeping us safe, lifting us up, just as all of you asked that He do. He definitely did that for me, and I'm very, very grateful. Very grateful.
Every Sunday when the prayers of people, we talk about those who need prayer, your name is not on the list. That's such a good reason.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's right.
I mean, I know, in the office, they often, is it time to, call down the list, or, and it's like, no, we can take Janis right off. We always pray for it. It is.
I do have a monastery of monks that are praying for me
some way, or he came to heart or mind or presence in all of this?
I don't, you know, I have my brother and my mom and dad and my husband, so I don't know.
I just saw Tree of Life last night, and I don't know if anybody has seen that movie, but it's about a death and the mother processing it. It's kind of painful to watch, but I just keep seeing these images of how the mother replayed every moment of the child's life, but at the end she came to accept the miracle of death that as a part of life.
So that's a hard thing. I've said I've suffered a lot of loss. Siblings, parents, spouse. I've never suffered the loss of a child, and I pray I don't. That I cannot conceive of that loss. That's, to me, it would be so devastating. My heart always goes out to you.
So how about if we move into a bit of silence and reflection, and then Carol and Rita, when you feel the time is right, to lead us in song.